Hey guys, Melissa here. This is another design I've been making for many years. So today I'm gonna make amethyst. Just noticed I need to replenish my stock, so I figured I'd make a video to show you how to do this. Quick and easy design. This takes a couple loops and some cord bindings and a clasp, and that's it. So if you want to see how I made this, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. Alright, let's get started. So this project is pretty simple, pretty easy for beginners. I made a lot of these when I first started. And I use Swarovski crystal. I still have some left over. Swarovski you cannot get anymore, so I'm pretty sure Fire Mountain Gems has an alternative crystal now. And this is amethyst colored, which is my birthstone. I'll make February today. I use 4mm bicones. These crystals come in every color under the sun, so it shouldn't be a problem finding a certain month. So I've got 8 4mm bicones. I'm going to wrap those with 22 gauge wire. And I used to make these with sterling silver wire, but thinking back now, I think that's too expensive of a metal to use for these. I had to sell them at too high a price point and they weren't selling. So I'm going to use a cheaper wire. I use para wire here, but I think I ran out of my 22 gauge, so I had to run to the store. This is probably from Hobby Lobby. This is 22 gauge round, silver tone, and this is from para wire. I'm going to make my clasp out of 20 gauge, so I'm going to use this. This is going to be a choker, so I'm going to use 14 inches of this faux suede cord. It's flat. I'm not sure where I got this. I bought it in bulk a long time ago. It's about 3 millimeters thick. I'm sure you can find an alternative at a craft store or online somewhere. I'm going to cut 2 7-inch lengths out of this really quick. Next, let's make our double wrapped beaded loop component. I'm going to just use all 8 of these in a row. And I'm going to work off the spool. I'm going to make my loop big enough so I can get my cord through it. And I use my round nose pliers. And I'm going to go down about 1.5 inches. Grab it. Turn it to the side. Make a nice big loop. Grab the loop with one pliers and wrap my loop with another pair of pliers. Put a few wraps on that. And I got a little bit of waste there. So you need some space for your beads and then an extra inch or so. I'm gonna eyeball it and cut it off at like 3-4 inches. You might have some waste, but the more you do, the more you get a hang of how much wire you need. Next, I'm gonna feed my beads on. My wire has a natural curve to it, which I'm gonna leave because you want it to curve around your neck. All right, so you have that going on now. Now I'm gonna make my loop on this side to match the loop on the other side. So you're gonna make a right angle around those pliers, bring it around, down in a thicker area to make your loop nice and big. Like I said, to accommodate the cord. Now I grab it with my left hand and I wrap with my right hand. Until you have a nice wrap that's snug up against your beads. I'm going to cut it off right there. And that's kind of sticking out. So I'm going to kind of smoosh that down and tuck that in real nice. Make sure both my loops are facing the same direction. Like that. Next you're going to attach your cords. I'm going to cut like a 3-inch piece of my 22 gauge. So my beads have a natural curve to them. So I want the ugly side towards the inside. So I'm going to bring it through and fold it over like that. And then we're going to wrap this up. And to do that, I tend to use my flat nose pliers. Depending on how thick I think the cord is, I kind of start to wrap it around my flat nose pliers to that same thickness. Like that. And then I hook it ugly side in. And then start wrapping. Kind of pinch the end to secure it and start bringing the longer side around. It can be tricky to get this started. Kind of push it and pull it. Keep pushing and pulling. Try to get them nice and even and snug next to each other. You can even grab the bindings and pull the wire over. Whatever works. Till you get to the end, make sure you end it on the inside where your other end is. So here I'm going to cut mine, and with my round nose I'm going to kind of put a little hook on it. A little bit of a hook on it, and then smush it down. Alright, so you're going to do that 3 more times. You're going to do the same on the other end here. So you're going to go to the other side and fold it over so the ugly side is still on the inside. You're going to bind there, and you're going to bring your other piece and do the same on the other side, keeping your ugly sides on the inside. Alright, so I'll be back. So I have all 4 of my cord ends wrapped. Got that one, this one. These are all ready for jump rings and clasps. You can buy jump rings and clasps, or you can make your own. I'm gonna go ahead and make my own. I actually found this little coil. I have a little bowl full of coils that I just make up, and I cut jump rings off as I need them. And I use, looks like this is 18 or 20 gauge. I use a little bit of a thicker gauge for my clasps and jump rings. Let's go ahead and flush cut this and go ahead and attach it. Easier said than done. Let's see. Squeeze that through there. Get it nice and snug. I'm going to tuck that end away in the cording. Next, let's make a swan clasp. So this takes about 3 inches of wire. I'm just going to eyeball it. Alright, and you start with making a swirl. A nice tight one. just like that with your round nose pliers. Next, I take my flat nose and I grab it and I start to swirl it around. So I'm gonna kind of go one full rotation. I'm going to come down to here where my swirl looks like it's kind of upright. I'm going to grab it with one of my chain nose so I can make a little bit of a point, and that's where our cord is going to attach. Just give it some room for the cord. I'm going to bring this end piece up and around my swirls, but I'm going to take my round nose plier around the thickest spot and bring that up and over to the other side. Just kind of bring this loop up a little bit so it looks like a swan head. There we go. There's a little beak. That's too long, so I'm going to give it a little snip right there. This end is sharp, so you might need to file that. Just gonna grab a little file. You can use a nail file if you'd like. Just kind of check it with your fingers, see if it snags. Better, much better. All right, to get this a little sturdier, you can hammer it out. I just want to make it stronger. I don't want to necessarily flatten it, so I'm just going to use a rawhide mallet. All right, so let's attach it to our necklace. All right, and you're going to pull it to the side. Sneak your cord on, just like that, and then close it up again. Then your cord won't come off. And there we are. All finished. And this necklace measures 14.5 inches. It's meant to be a choker. Of course, if you want yours a little longer, you just cut your cords a little longer on each side. I think these are really cute. I've made a lot of them over the years. I found a few in my stash that I haven't sold yet. I forgot what these beads were called. These are all Swarovski, but these are fun for fall and Halloween time. So I made those for Halloween. Here's a peridot. So that is August's. This is a suede cord here that I used. All right, August, and here we have sapphire. This is September's birthstone here. And this is all I have left, so I have to get going and make the other months. I've also made patriotic ones with red, white, and blue. Those are cute as well. All right, so that's it for me. You beginners, let me know what you thought of this, if you thought this was an easy to follow tutorial, and if there's anything else you'd like to see in the future. So yeah, if you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.